But yeah, we were at the restaurant, and then they popped into the restaurant, and we're like, well, hello, and of course they were like getting to be seated, and we're like, hello, come sit with us. So then
amazing.
It turned into a nice little evening.
No, that's so nice.
It was seamless and easy. And then they gave me free cake.
Tell me when we're off air what restaurant you went to. Because I'm
the restaurant I'm having my bridal shower at.
Oh, okay.
The only restaurant I go to.
Yeah. Well, I had saw a picture and I was like, that looks kind of nice. But that makes sense. That tracks. Well, lovely. Yeah. And, next year's the big 30.
Wait, what?
Are you turning 30 next year?
Oh, next year. Yeah, you glitched out right before that. For a second, you thought I was. No. But honestly, it's like I can't believe I'm not 30 yet.
I can.
I am in my 30th year of life because, you don't turn one until after a year. So, I'm in that 30th year, if you think about it that way.
No, let's not think about it that way. That's crazy. You're, kind of old.
I just feel so much older than I am.
Really? I feel so much younger than I am. I feel
it might just be
19.
because I worked 13 hours today, so I might just be tired.
Yeah, I think I think if we had chosen to record on a Saturday morning, the vibes would be totally different. It's just we're always recording so late. It's literally 7:30.
Yeah, we could. I'm free next weekend, I think.
Well, this weekend I'm in DC.
Oh yes. Never mind.
Not me.
Also,
not Hermione.
You. I saw a remake of that was to hip hop, and it was lit.
Not me. Not Hermione.
Not Hermione. Well, I guess it was more like techno.
Apartment update.
EDM, electronic.
Do you have an apartment update?
Yeah. I don't have an apartment update. You had gone and looked at a few apartments this weekend?
I started that dreadful process. Man, let me tell you.
What are you looking for in a shoebox?
Times are bleak. I want to be able to walk to work.
Okay.
And I want to not go broke. I was looking at an apartment. That's the funny thing. If you have a roommate, you can get a pretty nice deal. I have a roommate now. I don't want a roommate. Love Kristen so much. I just feel like this next year could potentially be the last year I ever live alone. Because then Eddie's coming to New York and we'll probably live together. So this is my last opportunity to really live alone. So I wanted to take it. And so I was looking at these studios that are the size of my current bedroom. They cost $2,300 a month.
That's just crazy because you could rent out 3 houses in our area for that.
I know. It's actually so mind-boggling thinking about when we were putting the neighbor's house up for rent, and you guys were like, did someone pay rent around here? And it's a beautiful 4-bedroom and they pay $1,000. I should be living in Ohio.
Less than that.
I mean, I don't it's just really mind-boggling. Seeing.
Yeah. I know, my rent in college was $650, and I know ours was on the high end.
When I first moved to New York, shoebox, not even big enough for a couch and a bed, had a nice COVID deal, $1,500. That's crazy. It's not big enough for a couch.
No, you could lay in your bed and stick your hand in the oven.
I could. If I had fully stretched out, I could probably touch wall to wall. Did it have a sick view of the Empire State Building? It sure did. Would I move there right now if I could? I probably would. But
it's so weird to think about someone else living in your old
I know,
apartment,
it is kind of weird to think about. But anyways, we'll see. It's still too early. In a month from now, I'm going to start getting really serious about looking and doing applications. But It's just like knowing what I know about other cities, seeing a teeny tiny shoebox being worth $2,000 a month is like just so stupid. It's like comical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I know I could give things up and move to Queens, deep into Brooklyn, and have a better apartment. But my number one priority is being able to walk to work. So that's why I'm.
No, that's a huge convenience.
Oh, I know. So. And so even right now, I live like 20 minutes from work, and so I sleep as much as I can. Like, and I don't leave until like 8:40. And if I have to leave earlier than that, that would be a real.
Wait, you don't start work till 9?
Yeah, I'm a 9 to 5 baby.
I just know a lot of people.
A lot are doing 8 to 5. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have a lunch break?
Yeah. So I only work technically 35 hours a week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. I'm doing a career fair next week, and I need to come up with some talking points, because I will be dually talking about farming and also being a hashtag influencer, which is just so hilarious.
I'm just so surprised, out of you and I with our backgrounds, you're the one that turned out to be an influencer. Like, I just feel like
it's not
I
right.
was always more involved in social media.
Well, you have an eye, you have taste, you have like aesthetic,
and I have always like kind of had an interest in like not editing, but like I've always followed YouTubers forever, and now you're the influencer of the family.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so specifically like it's for like a club at a school, and they like had to write in like what kind of jobs they wanted to have, and there were people that said farmer, and then someone had specifically said YouTuber, spelled UTUBER.
How old are these
which
kids?
is just iconic. I think like 5th to 7th, 5th grade, 8th grade. Okay, so they're not like little tiny kids,
but they're also not like seniors in high school.
Yeah, so I think my talking points are just going to be like, farming's really hard but rewarding. You get to work outside, but you can't trust anything. The weather, the market, nothing. And then at the same time, I'm going to be like, you can do content creation, but you shouldn't.
That's so funny.
You'll get bullied, but you can also make money.
That's so interesting. I want to talk to someone about my career.
I know, because yours is like so much more interesting. Like, just the more that people get like into careers, the more I learn like what jobs there are. Because like everyone knows the standard doctor, lawyer, waste management.
No, I know. I was talking to the gal that does both of our hair, and she was just saying, like, when I was like, oh, I work in museums, I do event planning. And she was like, I would have just never thought that was a job, because there's just so many jobs that you just don't know about. Because you're only taught about like an accountant and a physical therapist, nurse practitioner.
Well, and I felt like I had a really good grasp on teachers, because teachers were always talking about their jobs, and like I knew which teachers liked their jobs and which teachers had regretted their decision to be teachers.
There's nothing more sad than a teacher continuing to teach and also regretting it. Like, that just sucks for everyone. That sucks for the people in the classroom. That sucks for the teacher. Speaking of teachers, I had a dream last night that I had spelling tests again, and it brought back like a whole level of trauma I've suppressed through the years.
Spelling is one of those things where like I'm like, I'll look at a word and like I can remember like as a kid being like, okay, this is this many letters. I'm looking at it. How can I not possibly remember just 6 letters in a row? Because I wouldn't understand the like I before E, except for like I would just memorize them every week, because I didn't understand the rules, and the rules are always changing anyway, so the rules aren't real. And then I'd be like, I just don't like, and then I do like the little pyramid where you do like 1 letter, then 2 letters, and 3, and it was like, I just couldn't get my brain to remember them.
I've been thinking about spelling a lot today, and there's got to be like some interesting tests done, especially they should use our family as an example. 3 very smart people, you, my brother, and myself.
Mostly you two, but yeah.
Hey, you're a valedictorian. I was not. Okay.
I got it on a technicality.
I had all A's. I simply refused to take Spanish 3 or 4. Therefore, I did not become whatever. I just cannot spell. Like I think it's like not necessarily like a dyslexia thing, but something along those lines. Like it's just something where your brain doesn't compute. Because I don't even think it's memory, because I think I have a really good memory. It's just like the spelling doesn't make sense in my head.
Yeah. Okay, so our brother texted, I don't know why I said our brother, Cody texted me this afternoon and was like, hey, how would you answer this question? It was like, name the 7 blah, 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 and then illustrate what they mean. How would you answer that?
Well, that's the tough thing about the word illustrate. Do you want a drawing or do you want a further explanation?
Okay, so the question was, what are the 7 like signs of life? Not signs of life. It's like 7 things that define life.
Okay.
So does that help you in your answer?
I would say what it is and then give an example as an illustration. So a sign of life could be intaking oxygen, and for example, mammals intake oxygen.
And then you would draw some oxygen.
No, I don't think I would draw. I would use words to describe an example.
Oh, okay. So you would have done it correctly. I would have done it incorrectly. But like when I was coming up with it specifically, because I was like, what are the signs of life? I didn't know any of them, but I did think of reproduction specifically. And then I was like, okay, well, no one's going to illustrate on a test what reproduction
you could do
looks
like a cell, like on a microbe level.
Yeah, you could do 2 stick figures with a heart around it. But he said the class did like about half and half, and it was because last year he had the same question on an exam, but it was like he said you give an example, and people gave like 1-word examples of like dog, cat as like examples of life. And it's like, no, that's not. And so I think
what he should have done is given one of the examples and then said, do the 6 others.
Yeah, that would be a good way of
it would be like,
it.
What are the signs of life, and illustrate how? For example, reproduction, the ability to create offspring.
Yeah. So give a definition and use it in a sentence type.
And then be like, and you do the next 6. That's so funny that you would like see the word illustrate and you're like, I'm going to draw a picture.
Well, illustrate just, that's immediately my first answer. But I felt like I wanted to give him my honest opinion because I think he was trying to figure out if it was like on him.
That, yeah.
So I guess I was just like on the behalf of the student population.
Yeah, no,
he was probably wondering, is Zoe smarter or less smart than
the average college freshman? I think I'm less smarter than the average college freshman, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I'm sure I couldn't pass like a ACT.
Oh, did you see that? Dartmouth is now no longer test optional. So there was like a big wave in between you and maybe the last 2 years. So like in between you, but I was in the middle of it, where schools were becoming test optional, testing being ACT and SATs. And just because there's so many outside factors that can influence how good you scored, like how good your schooling is, what your income is, like all sorts of crazy things. And then, but now I guess there's like a wave back, which I applied test optional because I have really bad test anxiety and I don't think my performance was an accurate representation of me as a student. But
yeah, I feel like that's one of those things. It's like in all your classes are to like, okay, this is how you like people pay people to tutor them so that they perform well on a test.
Yeah.
It doesn't like mean that you would perform well in the classroom. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand, but it's interesting that they've like been like, okay, we're gonna
I know.
go back
I
to
wonder. I
this.
didn't read the article, to be fair.
'Cause
I just read the headline, but I wonder if it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, they had to at least have a reason.
Yeah, like if there's too many good applicants now, or they let in people that they shouldn't have let in. I have no idea.
yeah.
But interesting. Anyways, the door is closing. Sister friend, we're at 50 minutes. Time has flown.
I know. Yeah, it really has. Because I was like, oh, what are we going to talk about? And then we just continued to talk the whole time.
I know. Isn't that funny? We both had a bad week last week. And I was like, oh no, like we can't talk about how upset we are and how terrible life is. What are we going to talk about? But somehow we managed to fill an hour with rambles.
We managed to do it.
What a crazy time. Well, I hope you had a lovely evening.
Yes,
Enjoy
you too.
your lasagna.
I will enjoy that lasagna. We didn't even get to discuss your poor pants that ripped today.
Oh
we'll have
my
to discuss that on the next
gosh.
episode.
I know.
Teaser.
Ah, guys, there's nothing worse than when your pants rip. Okay.
Truly, nothing worse.
Well, bye, sister friend. It's been so real.
Okay. It's been real. It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye.